Black just played. Rook takes b4. Pause the video to analyze white's next move. Black considers playing Rook b1 check, King d2, Rook c2 check, King e3, Rook e2 check, King d4, Rook takes e7, Rook a2, Rook takes f7, and put immense pressure on the opponent. Bishop a2 played by white. White is setting up to play Rook h7 mate and establish a winning position. On g5 move preferred by black. Rook a6. White is preparing to play. Rook takes h6 check. Bishop h7. Rook takes h7 mate and put immense pressure on the opponent. Rook bc4 played by black. Black's idea is to play Rook c1 check, King d2, Rook h c2 check, King e3, Rook e2 check, King d4, Rook takes e7 and secure a strong hold in the game. Bishop takes c4 was chosen by white. Rook takes c4, Rook a8 check, Bishop c8, Rook a7. White is planning to play Rook e8 mate and take decisive advantage. Bishop b7 was chosen by black. Rook takes b7. Rook c8. White is in a commanding position. Let's go to the next game. Black played. On b6. Pause the video to find out white's response. Rook c2. White might go for pawn takes b6 and dominate the board. Pawn takes c5 was chosen by black. Pawn takes c5. Knight d4. Black is aiming to play knight takes c2 and establish a winning position. Pawn c6 was chosen by white. White considers playing pawn c7. Rook takes d6. Pawn promotes to queen at c8 check. King h7. Rook c7 and establish a winning position. Knight b5 move preferred by black. Black intends to play knight takes d6 and establish a winning position. Bishop b8 move preferred by white. White is preparing to play pawn a4. Knight d4. Pawn c7. Knight f3 check. King g2. Knight h4 check. King f1 and secure a strong hold in the game. Rook d8 move preferred by black. Black wants to play rook takes b8 and secure a strong hold in the game. Pawn c7 move preferred by white. White wants to play pawn promotes to queen at cx d8 check and put immense pressure on the opponent. Knight takes c7 played by black. Bishop takes c7. Rook d3. Black is on the verge of defeat. Let's go to the next game. White played queen e4. Pause the video and try to find black's next move. Queen takes e4 check. Bishop takes e4. Pawn c4. Black's idea is to play pawn d2. Bishop c2. Pawn b3. Bishop d1. Pawn b2. Bishop c2. Pawn promotes to queen at d1. Bishop takes d1. Pawn promotes to queen at b1 and secure a strong hold in the game. King f3 played by white. Pawn b3. Black intends to play pawn b2. Pawn h5. Pawn promotes to queen at b1 and dominate the board. Pawn g6 played by white. Pawn b2. Black is aiming to play pawn takes g6 and establish a winning position. King g2 move preferred by white. Pawn takes g6. Bishop takes g6. King takes g6. On h5 check. White is struggling to keep up. Let's go to the next game. White just played. Rook takes d4. Pause the video to find out black's response. Queen h3 check. King g1. Rook e5. Black intends to play. Rook g5 check. Rook g4. Rook takes g4 check. Queen g3. Rook takes g3 check. King f2. Rook g2 check. King f1. Queen h1 mate and establish a winning position. Queen h4 played by white. Queen e3 check. Queen f2. Rook g5 check. King f1. Queen h3 check. King e2. Rook g2. Black's idea is to play rook takes f2 check and increase their advantage significantly. Knight d3 move preferred by white. Queen e6 check. King f1. Rook takes f2 check. Knight takes f2. White has no response. Let's go to the next game. White just played. Rook a1. Pause the video and try to find black's next move. Rook f7. Rook h1. On g3. Black considers playing. On g2. Rook d1. Pawn promotes to queen at g1 check. Rook takes g1 check. Pawn promotes to queen at hx g1 check and put immense pressure on the opponent. On a7 move preferred by white. On g2. Black is planning to play. Pawn promotes to queen at gx h1 and seize the initiative. Pawn promotes to queen at a8 played by white. Pawn promotes to queen at g1 check. King e2. Rook f2 check. King d3. Queen g3 check. King c4. Rook c2 check. King d5. Queen f3 check. King d6. White is setting up to play. Queen takes f3 and seize the initiative. Queen takes a8 move preferred by black. Rook takes h2. Black has a decisive advantage. Let's go to the next game. White made a move. Rook c6. Pause the video and try to find black's next move. Rook a2. Rook e6. King f4. King g1. On e3. King f1. On g3. Rook f6 check. King e4. Rook e6 check. King d3. King g1. On e2. Rook e7. Rook a1 check. King g2. Pawn promotes to queen at e1. Black is aiming to play. Queen f2 check. King h3. Pawn g2. Rook e1. Rook takes e1. King g4. Rook h1. Pawn c4. Pawn promotes to rook at g1 mate and increase their advantage significantly. Rook takes e1 was chosen by white. Rook takes e1. On b5 white is outplayed. Let's go to the next game. Black just played. Rook e5. Pause the video to find out white's response. Black is looking to play. Rook takes e1 and increase their advantage significantly. Rook takes e5 played by white. Pawn takes e5. King f3. King f6. King e4. White intends to play. King d5. King e7. King takes e5 and seize the initiative. King e6 played by black. On a3. King d6. King f5. On b5. On f3. White is aiming to play. King takes g5 and take decisive advantage. Pawn c4 was chosen by black. King takes g5. Pawn takes d3. Pawn takes d3. King e7. King f5. King e8. King takes e5. King f7. White has a strong upper hand. Let's go to the next game. White just played King h3. Pause the video to analyze Black's next move. Bishop g1. Black is preparing to play Rook takes h to check and gain a significant edge. Pawn takes e5 was chosen by White. On h5. On g4. Rook takes h to check. King g3. On h4 check. King f4. Rook f2 check. King e4. On h3. Black wants to play on h2. King d3. Pawn promotes to queen at h1 and gain a significant edge. Rook b3 was chosen by White. Rook e2 check. King f4. On g5 check. King f5. On h2. Black is planning to play Rook f2 check. King e4. Pawn promotes to queen at h1 check and put immense pressure on the opponent. Rook h3 was chosen by White. Rook e3. Black is preparing to play Rook takes h3 and take decisive advantage. Rook h5 move preferred by White. Rook f3 check. King e4. Rook f4 check. King d5. Rook takes g4. Bishop b6. Bishop takes b6. Rook takes h2. White has no response. Let's go to the next game. Black made a move. Knight b6. Pause the video to analyze White's next move. Knight takes b6. Queen takes b6. Bishop a5. White considers playing bishop takes b6 and take decisive advantage. Queen d4 played by Black. Queen e1. Queen e3 check. King b1. Queen takes g5. Rook d8 check. Queen takes d8. Bishop takes d8. Bishop e6. Black is preparing to play Rook takes d8 and seize the initiative. Bishop c7 was chosen by White. Knight e7. Queen b4. White is preparing to play Rook d1. Bishop f6. Bishop d6. Rook c8. Queen a3. On h4. Queen takes a6. King castled kingside. Queen b7 and seized the initiative. Bishop f6 was chosen by Black. Bishop d6. Rook c8. Rook d1. On h4. On a4. White is looking to play Pawn takes b5. Pawn takes b5. Pawn b3 and dominate the board. Knight c6 was chosen by Black. Black might go for knight takes b4 and take decisive advantage. Queen a3 played by White. White is planning to play pawn takes b5 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Pawn b4 move preferred by Black. Black considers playing pawn takes a3 and take decisive advantage. Queen e3 played by White. Bishop e7. Bishop takes a6. King castled kingside. White is in a commanding position. Let's go to the next game. White made a move. Queen a7. Pause the video to find out Black's response. Rook a8. Black is preparing to play Rook takes a7 and increase their advantage significantly. Knight takes b5 was chosen by White. Queen c8. Knight d6. Rook takes a7. Knight takes c8. Bishop takes c8. Bishop takes c6. On g6. On g4. Knight b6. Rook e8 check. King g7. Black might go for bishop takes g4 and secure a stronghold in the game. On g5 played by white. Bishop e7. Black is planning to play. Bishop h3. King h1. Rook a1 check and increase their advantage significantly. On h4 played by white. Bishop d6. King g2. Rook c7. Black is preparing to play. Rook takes c6 and dominate the board. On d5 was chosen by white. Rook e7. Black is looking to play. Rook takes e8. Bishop takes e8. Knight takes d5 and seize the initiative. Rook takes e7 move preferred by white. Bishop takes e7. Knight d4. Knight c4. Black considers playing. Knight takes b2 and put immense pressure on the opponent. On b3 played by white. White is planning to play. Pawn takes c4 and increase their advantage significantly. Knight d6 played by black. On b4. Knight c4. Black is looking to play. Bishop takes b4 and put immense pressure on the opponent. On b5 was chosen by white. Bishop c5. Black is looking to play. Bishop takes d4 and establish a winning position. Knight e2 was chosen by white. Bishop f5. Knight c3. Bishop c2. On f3. Bishop d4. Black is preparing to play. Bishop takes c3 and dominate the board. Knight e2 was chosen by white. White considers playing. Knight takes d4 and take decisive advantage. Bishop b6 played by black. King g3. Knight d6. Black is looking to play. Bishop d3. Knight f4. Bishop takes b5. Bishop takes b5. Knight takes b5 and gain a significant edge. King f4 was chosen by white. Knight f5. Black might go for. Bishop c7 check. On d6. Bishop takes d6 check. King g4. Knight e3 check. King h3. Bishop f5 mate and seize the initiative. King g4 move preferred by white. Bishop c7. Black is looking to play. Knight e3 check. King h3. Bishop f5 mate and take decisive advantage. On d6 was chosen by white. White considers playing. Pawn takes c7 and secure a stronghold in the game. Knight takes d6 played by black. King h3. Black is clearly ahead. Let's go to the next game.